Hello and welcome to Tutor KE. This is Mathematics Form 3, Quadratic Expressions and Equations. I'll be taking you through solutions of quadratic equations using completing square method. We are given two examples. In example 1, we are told to solve x squared plus 5x plus 1 is equals to 0 by the completing square method. So we have x squared plus 5x plus 1 equals to 0. So we take the constant 1 to the other side of equal sign. We will get x squared plus 5x equals to negative 1. By completing the square, we will have x squared plus 5x plus b over 2 squared, which is c, and our b is 5 over 2. Then we square, should be equal to negative 1. We also add the c, which is 5 over 2 squared. So the left hand side of the equal sign will have x plus 5 over 2 squared, since it is a perfect square, which will be equal to negative 1 plus 25 over 24. So we have x plus 5 over 2 squared being equal to, when you simplify negative 1 plus 25 over 4, you get 21 over 4. So to get rid of the square, we find the square root of both sides. The square root, and the square root is either negative or positive. So the left hand side will have x plus 5 over 2 equal to positive or negative square root of 21 over 4. So to get the value of x, first we work out when the root is positive. So the first x will be equal to positive square root of 21 over 4 minus 5 over 2, which will be equal to negative 0.417 over 2 after simplifying, which can also be written as 0.2085. x2, we will use a negative root, which will give us negative square root of 21 over 4 minus 5 over 2. This gives us negative 9.583 over 2 after simplifying with a calculator, and this can be written as negative 4.7915 in decimal form. So those are the solutions for this equation using the perfect square method or completing square method. Now we go to example 2, where we are given solve 2x squared plus 4x plus 1 is equals to 0 by completing the square. So our example 2, it's 2x squared plus 4x plus 1 being equal to 0. Again, we take the constant 1 to the other side of the equal sign. So we have 2x squared plus 4x equals to negative 1. We simplify the equation by making the coefficient of x squared 1. So we divide by 2, by 2, and by 2. So x squared plus 2x is equals to negative half. We complete the square, so we'll have x squared plus 2x plus b over 2 squared, and our b is 2, so over 2 squared is equals to negative half plus, also we add a constant on the other side, which is 2 over 2 squared. Whatever you do on the right hand side of the equation, you also do on the other side of the equation. So we'll have x plus 1, that is 2 over 2 gives us 1. Then this one is squared, since now it's a perfect square, is equals to negative half plus 2 over 2 is 1 squared, it remains to be 1, so plus 1. This means x plus 1 squared is equals to negative half plus 1 gives us positive half. So to get rid of the square, we find the square root of both sides. So the square root and the square root. Again, note that the square root can be either positive or negative. So plus or negative. Square root of x plus 1 squared is x plus 1, which is equal to the positive or negative, the square root of half. So to get the value of x, the first one, we will use a positive root. So the positive root of half, then minus 1, which will be equal to 0.7071. That is the square root of half from a calculator, then minus 1, and this one gives us negative 0.2929. The other value of x will be given by the negative root. So x will be equal to negative square root of half, then minus 1. This will be equal to negative 0.7071, which is the square root of half, minus 1. And this gives us negative 1.7071. So the two solutions of x in this equation will be negative 0.2929 and negative 1.7071. That is the end of this lesson. Thank you for listening.